Hello and welcome to the news update at 4. The Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, has been ordered by the Federal High Court sitting in Umahia, Abia State, to immediately delete Section 8412 of the amended Electoral Act. Justice Evelyn Anyadike on Friday held that the section was unconstitutional, invalid, illegal, null and void, and of no effect whatsoever, and cannot stand because it's in violation of the clear provisions of the Constitution. The section says, quote, "No political appointee at any level shall be voting delegate or be voted for at the convention or congress of any political party for the purpose of the nomination of candidate for any election," end of quote. In the suit, Justice Anyadike further stated that sections 66 subsection 1F, 107 subsection 1, 137 subsection 1, and 182 subsection 1F of the 1999 Constitution already stipulates that appointees of government seeking to contest elections were only to resign at least 30 days to the date of the election, and that no other law that mandated such appointees to resign or leave office at any time before that was unconstitutional, invalid, illegal, null and void to the extent of its inconsistency to the clear provisions of the Constitution. While signing the electoral bill into law last month, President Muhammad Buhari had asked the National Assembly to delete Section 84 subsection 12. President Buhari had argued that Section 8412 constitutes a disenfranchisement of serving political office holders from voting or being voted for at the conventions or congresses of any political party. And a High Court in the Federal Capital Territory has vacated an order stopping the National Convention of the All Progressives Congress, bailed for March the 26th. Justice Bello Kawu gave the judgment, arguing that the political party cannot be sued by its member. The judge relied on a recent Supreme Court judgment, Aguma versus APC, to conclude its ruling. Away from court matters to others, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission says the former governor of Anambra State, Willie Obiano, is still in its custody, contrary to earlier reports he had been released. Mr. Obiano was arrested by the Commission on Thursday evening at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport in Lagos. Mr. Obiano, who has been on the Commission's watch list for months, was picked by the EFCC at about 8:30 p.m., hours after the inauguration of his predecessor, Charles Chukwuma Soludo. He was reportedly on his way out of the country to Houston, Texas, in the United States, or after handing over. The EFCC had requested that the Nigerian Immigration Service to inform it anytime the governor is traveling out of the country from any of the international airports, as well as other points of entry and exit. It is, however, not yet clear why the anti-graft agency placed the governor on the watch list. Let's take you to the northeast, where no fewer than 448 temporary shelters have been razed by fire at the Government Girls Secondary School IDP camp in Mafa local government area of Borno State. The inferno also destroyed foodstuffs and other valuable items worth millions of naira. A statement by the information unit of the local government revealed no life was lost or injury sustained as a result of the inferno. It assured of the council's assistance and promised to report the incident to higher authority for immediate intervention. This comes less than 3 weeks after a fire incident destroyed houses at IDP camps in Kanduga and Muna Garage in Maiduguri. The IDP camp at Government Girls Secondary School Mafa is 50 kilometers away from Maiduguri, the state capital. And in Oyo State, Police Command has denied an alleged report that one of its officers shot at corps member in Ibadan. The police, through a statement by the State Police Public Relations Officer, revealed that the corps member knocked down one of its officers while on a stop and search duty and tried to flee the scene. He was later apprehended. There was an earlier report that a police officer shot at the windscreen of some corps members while returning from the Community Development Service. The police said no shot was fired at the scene before or after the incident. Rather, the corps members smashed the side mirrors of the officer's operational vehicle, broke its windscreen and deflated all the tires. The management of the state NYSC in a press statement says confirmed that no corps member was shot by the police and the case is being investigated. And in Delta State, the police force has confirmed the arrest of a man suspected to be involved in the killing of an army lieutenant in Efurun. The police also have in their custody some suspected cultists who killed 4 rival cult members in Jesse, Ethiopia, West Local Government area. Ikena Mechi has more on this.
On the 11th of this month, an army lieutenant was shot dead in his private car in Enere community, Uwe Council area of Delta State, and the police immediately launched a manhunt for his killers. Today, the police commissioner in the state, during a parade of suspects, which include suspected cultists, kidnappers, armed robbers, speaks more about the death of the young military officer.
We had a bad incident where a lieutenant, the ops officer of Nigerian Army based in Warri, was shot at the wee hours of that night. My men, led by the DPO Enere himself, were on patrol along Urobo College Road. They saw a young man that was, dead, lying lifeless in the pool of his own blood, and the body was picked to the station. His pocket was searched. An ID card was recovered. Then a call was put across to our sister agency, and in fact they confirmed that he is one Lieutenant M.M. Musa. One suspect has been arrested, and the command is making efforts with a view to ensuring that his allies, those who partake in that dastardly act, are also arrested and dealt with.
On parade here are these 43 young men arrested for their alleged involvement in cultism, which is prevalent in some parts of the state, with the recent cult-related killings in Jesse, Ethiopia West Council area.
I want to inform you today that we have arrested 3 of the notorious members of Arobaga group that were indeed responsible for this killing, and they are all here. Cultists, like you are aware, have been disturbing the command in recent times, not just at Ogara and Jesse axis alone.
This young man is in custody for unsuccessful suicide attempt. The police also recovered some arms and ammunition. The rise in court-related violence in the state can be reflected in the number of suspects arrested for cultism, as the state police command wants school authority and the state government to do more to ensure cultism is reduced to the barest minimum. Ikenna Amechi, TVC News, Asaba.
Despite the crisis in the People's Democratic Party, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has obtained the party's form for the 2023 presidential election. The Northeast Business Forum purchased the form for Mr. Abubakar and presented it to him at his private residence in Abuja. The chairman of the forum says the gesture is in fulfillment of a promise earlier made to him.
We are here to fulfill our pledge that we made on the 29th of November 2021 in Gombe, the headquarters of Gombe State, Nigeria. We invited His Excellency to Gombe State, and we call on him that if he can accept to contest for a presidential race come 2023, inshallah, that we, our entire families of Northeast business communities, that we are going to purchase form of interest and a nomination form for him free of charge.
For me, what I can promise you, whether I become a president or not, differences on either ethnicity or religion is not in my household and is not in my blood. So I want to assure all parts of this country that there will be a sense of belonging, there will be a sense of fairness, and there will be a sense of justice to every part of this country.
And now to the foreign scene. As from 5 p.m. today, unvaccinated arrivals to the United Kingdom will no longer have to take tests, a rule that had already been lifted for the vaccinated and passenger locator forms scrapped. This is as the UK government lifts all remaining COVID travel restrictions for passengers entering the country. The measure comes almost exactly 2 years after the first COVID lockdown measures were imposed in the UK. The removal of the rules marks the end of a rapidly changing and often complex set of COVID rules for people arriving in the UK. Travel bosses said lifting the rules was the final game changer. The government said the change had been deliberately timed before the Easter holidays, but added that contingency plans had been drawn up to respond to any future COVID variants. And as the news updates, thanks so much for watching. Sports Desk is next. Bye for now.